Yeah.
Welcome to this week's edition of TidBits. I'm Jeremy.
Hey, Anderson here.
So, Anderson, do we have any ways for brokers to customize and configure their fields while tracking and tracing in brokerware?
Yeah, absolutely. So we actually just developed a new feature. It's called tile configuration. So before I go into that, let me just kind of show you historically, like, how our tiles work. So
Mhm.
let's say if I go to the in transit tile, right? And by default, you have all these fields arranged in a certain order already. But
Mhm.
let's say, you know, there are some fields that are more important to you while you're tracking and tracing. For example, let's say, you know, if I want to, for whatever reason, I want cost to be, top of mind. So I want to move cost, right after the carrier column, so I can organize by cost. And so from here, anytime while I'm on this page,
Mhm.
the cost column or any other column that I move around will 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 be static as long as I'm on this page and I don't leave the page.
Mhm.
However, as soon as I leave the page and I go back to the tile, you can see that it's been reset, right?
Mm.
Cost is no longer at the forefront of where I'd put it.
Got it.
So to make it easier for our clients and brokers to track and trace the way that makes sense for the business, we've added this new tool called tile configuration. So this is an admin tool only. And keep in mind that when you change your tile configuration, it's going to be across the board for anyone that logs in your TMS.
Mm.
So for
So it's like a
example, if I
blanket
go to
feature
this,
then, right? Like everyone gets it.
exactly, it's a global
Global.
feature.
Got it.
So for example, and you can configure each tile separately. So whatever makes the most sense for your business.
Mhm.
So for example, if I go to in transit and now I want to move cost all the way over, let's put it after carrier. So I've moved cost here to after carrier, and let's go ahead and hit save. So now it's saved. Now I go back to my in transit tile. As you can see here, cost is now defaulted to show after carrier exactly where I had put it.
Mm. That's pretty useful. How did this tool? So this one was probably brought up by a broker, I'm assuming, and then we just built it because that's the way they wanted to operate, correct?
Yeah, I think this makes the most sense for, you know, most of our clients because not everyone is going to track and trace the same way.
Mm.
Everyone, you know, there are certain things that certain brokers prefer to track and trace by, depending on their business model. So this will actually allow you to do just that. And, if you, for whatever reason, if you need to reset your tiles, you can always just go back to the tile configuration and click the reset. And now this will change it back to the default setting.
Mm. Yeah, it's really easy to use too. It's very intuitive and clean. I like it.
Yeah, it's super simple, it's very straightforward.
Yeah. Well, thanks for showing us that, Anderson. And we will catch
No
you next
problem.
week.